Today, we're going to talk about closing times. This is a very important thing we need to discuss when it comes to the home lending process because it matters. Closing time matters, and it especially matters to the seller of the house that you're buying. And the reason why is because if there's delays, it could derail things immensely. It's a lot of trouble, a lot of headache, a lot of inconvenience, and really, your lender should be able to give you a really good idea of what the closing time is going to be before you get into the contract, and then be able to deliver on that estimated closing time or duration. So what are we talking about when we talk about closing time? We're talking about how much time it takes for your lender to start a loan application and close on it. All right. If everything is going well, what is that duration? How long does that take? And I Googled it the other day because I was curious about what an underwriter said to me. She said, I worked at another big lender, and what I like about where I'm at now at this lender is that the closing time is just so fast. We're able to get things done so efficiently and so quickly. And so I said, well, I wonder what the average closing time is for a loan out there, or at least what the expectation is for other lenders. And so I Googled it, and I encourage you to do the same. How long does it take to close on a mortgage? And I was shocked because I've always worked for this company. It is the largest lender in the country currently. And we always are really, really fast, apparently. I didn't realize that wasn't the norm. So when you Google it, you'll see answers like 40 days, 50 days, 90 days. It is incredible to see the differences or the vast different expectations when it comes to how fast a lender can close on your loan. So why does this matter? Because again, it matters to the parties that are buying, the seller, and should matter to you as well. If you come to me as a seller, all right, I'm selling my home, and you come to me and you say, hey, I'd love to buy a new home, and I am needing to sell my home to do whatever, okay? Chances are I want that to happen as efficiently and as fast as possible, especially if I need the money from the sale of my home to go and buy another home or another property. This is very important. And so if we set up things from the beginning, all right, to close in 30 days or 60 days, it needs to happen in that time frame because, frankly, everything that I'm involved in when it comes to my job, my family, the new house, all of that revolves around that estimated closing date, all right, on the contract. Don't forget, closing dates are on the contract. So you are contractually obligated to make sure you close on your loan on that date. And so as a lender, we should take that seriously. And my team and I certainly do. And the company that I work for currently definitely does. And so we want to make sure you're delivering on your obligation to close by the closing date dictated on the contract, all right, that you and the seller have agreed to. All right, there's a lot of risk involved there. If the lender is delaying the closing date because they didn't get it done fast enough or by that date, well, your house is at risk. Okay, your purchase is at risk. You need to understand that the seller can say, sorry, I'm not extending this contract because you needed more time. I agreed to close on this day, and this is the time I want to sell. I need to sell. And so it really can also bring a lot of uncertainty to the seller's mind when it comes to your qualifications, even though everything may be fine when it comes to your qualifications, but if the lender's having a hard time closing things, the seller may say, well, what's going on there with the financing? And so it raises red flags. All things you want to try to avoid, and you should avoid if you are working with a lender that can get things done on time every time. All right, that's very, very important. Now, it's important to understand that not all lenders are the same when it comes to these estimated closing times. Why is that? I mean, a loan's a loan, right? Well, it's because there's processes involved. All right, let's talk about real quick, kind of a brief timeline of what happens during the application process. It starts with me, right? It starts with your loan officer. We're out there communicating. Once we receive confirmation that you're under contract, we need to be able to move quickly in making sure we get the contract, the executed signed contract from the parties involved. So that's the first step. If your loan officer is lackadaisical about it and okay, it'll just come in, well, you could lose days right there just trying to get the contract into the loan officer or the lender's hand. So once we have that, all right, I'm asking for it right away. I'm texting with the listing agent right away. Once we have that, now we're able to push a loan estimate out and disclosures out as soon as possible. That needs to happen legally within 3 days of receiving the contract, the lender receiving the contract. So that should happen right away. Now that loan estimate doesn't take long to generate, I can tell you right now. So if your lender's dragging their feet on it, you really got a problem. You need to really think twice about working with them for the rest of this loan process, because if they can't handle this easy part up front, it's going to be more of a challenge moving forward. So that loan estimate needs to go out. After that happens, all right, borrower is reviewing it, maybe answering some questions, or lender's answering some questions for the borrower. And then from there, it gets pushed to processing, where they handle title work, they handle getting it ready, requesting any additional stuff that the underwriter may question, and then that thing gets pushed into underwriting. Here's where a lender varies from one to the next. How fast, from the time I send the file to a processor, how fast can that processor get in that file and get it ready and send it off to underwriting? All right, that's the key. How fast can that processing team get the title work ordered, get the appraisal ordered? All right, work capacity and operational capacities vary from one lender to the next. It's all about how the company staffs everything. So you're going to want to keep an eye on that. We're lightning fast. All right, so the day I turn in a loan to a processor, that loan typically, as long as it's early in the business day, gets into underwriting the same day. It's just part of what should happen with a smooth transaction. And those order outs get ordered. As soon as you sign that loan estimate disclosure, we know you're ready, your intent to proceed is there, and we're going to order that appraisal if other factors are checked off, right? Like the home inspection and everything, you're certain that you're going to move forward on this property. All right, so all those things should happen very, very quickly. Now, once it goes to underwriting, here's where, especially during COVID, when things were so busy, here's where lenders really can get bogged down and cause delays in your loan process. So once it goes to underwriting, there are so many underwriters. There are only so many underwriters in a lender, all right, that work for a lender. Whether it be a direct lender or a brokerage or a wholesaler, excuse me. And so if there's only so many underwriters and there's an influx of files, there can be a delay, right? And there's an expectation. And that can slow things down. And that's where some of your more smaller banks, credit unions, things like that can struggle, or smaller lenders, because they only have so many folks that can review the file. So there's a queue. And so what you want to make sure is, what is your lender's underwriting turn time? That's the term you want to ask. What is the turn time right now? And there's a number. There should be. I know we're made aware of what it is on a regular basis. Now for us, again, lightning fast, that processor turns in the loan to the underwriter. Within a day or two, that loan is conditionally approved and right back to the processor with the conditions. All right. Now, once the conditions come in, again, how fast can the processor get those conditions reviewed, get answered or questions answered, and get the questions out to you, the buyer? Now, once you have all that information, as fast as you can get it back to processing, is as fast as we can get that loan right back to underwriting for another 1 or 2 day review. The process really isn't that difficult. It should happen very quickly, and it can happen very quickly as long as you're working with a lender that is set up to handle and operate efficiently with those operational capacities. So closing times are very important. We understand as lenders that it's really no negotiation. There shouldn't be. How fast can you really close a loan though? Say you're in a hurry. Say something happened with your current lender and you need to jump ship and you're halfway through your contract. You're 14 days or less from closing. Can someone or anyone close that loan? Absolutely. Legally, we need about a week, all right, with financing, and that's because there's certain waiting periods that have to happen when we talk about the loan estimate and the closing disclosure specifically. So we want to make sure we understand that you can't close in 1 day, but within a week, if everything is buttoned up, everything is tight, appraised value is in and all that, yeah, you should be able to get a loan closed within a week under very, very rare circumstances. 2 weeks, absolutely. And by the way, when you talk about loan products, some loan products require longer times for certain lenders than others. For example, a VA loan, okay, an FHA loan. Those are government loans. Not all lenders underwrite those loans in-house. Some lenders have to send off the loan package to an FHA or VA underwriter at a different entity, and then they have to wait on their turn times. It sounds a little bit out of control, and it is. It's out of their control. It's not in-house. Whereas a lender like ours, or my team, we've got everything in-house. All right, so I'm talking with the VA and FHA underwriters. We're discussing, within minutes of them having questions, we're discussing answers. Those are things that are very, very important. And they're all in-house, like I mentioned. So don't get bogged down. If you get a lender telling you, hey, you know, we take 60 days or 45 days to close a VA loan, yeah, you probably should work with someone who can get it done a lot faster. Give me a call, we can talk about it. I have literally closed government loans within a week and a half. It's incredible. I take no credit other than the team and the company that are behind me. And so I thank them. If they're watching this, I thank them for that. But it is remarkable to be able to tell folks that. And that matters when it comes to rescue situations. Someone that's, again, going through a loan process, a buying process, gets denied for some reason at a lender, and then we can actually get it done. How fast can we get it done? That's going to matter to the seller, because here you are about to buy their house and now a lender has denied them. That makes the seller very shaky. Can we still get this loan done? We're going to make sure that we let the seller know and build some confidence there that things are going to get done, and then we're actually going to deliver on the turn times that we provided. So all of this information is very, very important to understand when it comes to turn time. So proper expectation is, listen, 21 days is when you should expect to get your clear to close, all right, and be able to close. 21 days, business days, of course, but 21 days, 3 weeks is perfect. 30 days is a luxury for a lender like ours. And then if we really had to get things done a lot faster, we certainly could. If you're hearing estimates of longer than that, you really should get a second opinion. Take a look at different options and see if there's an opportunity to get things done faster. If you have any questions about your scenario, maybe you're right in the middle of a process right now where you're getting delay after delay. Maybe your loan officer has disappeared. I hear about that all the time. It's ridiculous. And you're not getting answers. Maybe your client, if you're a realtor, your client or your buyer or seller even that's buying another home is running into issues with their lender, and delays are happening, and it's really making things turbulent. Please reach out to me. My cell phone information is literally in the description below. You can schedule a consultation with me as well via my Calendly link in the description as well. I'm here for you guys. Text me 24/7, 365. Call me during the day, 7 days a week, anytime, and we'll talk about the scenario that you're working on. All right, so turn times matter, guys. Reach out. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel, and it's only to help, whether it be you or other families that may need this type of information. So thanks so much. We'll see you guys on the next video.